Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I think is just going to be an informational on MS stuff. I am still trying to get ready for work, so I'm just trying to finish up what I'm doing here. So I've had a couple people that have come to me and asked me about like what were my first symptoms, how am I feeling now, what was it like, how scared were you? I have had a couple people ask me these questions lately because it seems that lately it has been affecting a few people more than just the ones that that we see on an everyday note. So I'm just saying I have people that are coming at me for their family members, for themselves, that kind of stuff, and not coming for me, just coming to me. And you know, I have worked very hard to try to be an open book all the time, and someone who's approachable, and someone I can totally, that somebody could go to. And I want to be like that. I want to be that someone that I could go to and ask questions if I needed to. So MS, if your doctor has told you that they think that you might have MS, it's not a death sentence, everybody. It's really not. Understanding that this is just a neurological speed bump. It is a neurological disease. It is an autoimmune disease. All of those big words can be really scary, and especially if you don't feel good and you're thinking, I just want to know what's wrong with me. Fear of the unknown is 10 times more scary than fear of what you know. So if a doctor's telling you that they think that you might be, that you might have MS, or you know, I mean, it could be anything. It could be Bell's palsy. Could be several different things. There's so many things that it could be. Multiple sclerosis is one of the most misdiagnosed diseases out there because it does not have per se exact symptoms. Cancer, you have tumors, you have cells, you have blood work, you have all that. MS, you just can't walk in and say, oh, hey, you know, there's a spot in your brain that looks suspicious, and we're going to do an MRI and we're going to see what's happening here. You know what? It could be years and years and years. You could have a numb hand and you could just think that you might have whacked your elbow really hard, or part of your face starts to flicker or something, and you're thinking, this is just not right. Something that is just not going away. I know my stress level is really high, so it just must be stress. We often discount it to something else, but this is what I'm telling you. Often it is misdiagnosed. Now, MS can manifest itself at any time. You could have had childhood problems. You could have had things that you thought were just strange. You could have attributed it to a back injury. You could do anything like that. Or, you know, even your doctors could. So they could be telling you, this is what we think it is. Go see a chiropractor. Here, we're going to give you some physical therapy. We're going to try to test this stuff out. I do have one friend at work who has just told me that his cousin has been diagnosed. Matt Player, this is for you. His cousin was just diagnosed, and the family is just a little skeptical and a little afraid right now. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's a really big word with a lot of really big symptoms and a lot of really big trouble, but oftentimes it can be prevented, not prevented, but we can actually attempt to push those symptoms off. You can attempt to stop the demyelination of the veins and the nerves. Sorry, not veins, nerves. So in short, I'm going to just use a makeup brush. Okay, I'm going to use a makeup brush and I'm going to tell you what MS is. Pretend this is a wire. Okay, we're going to pretend this is a wire. Inside this wire is a copper, is the actual wire itself. Okay, the white stuff on the outside of this is what is called myelin, and this is what protects that copper wire on the inside. Now, what happens is your red blood cells, or your immune system, okay, does not stop when you get sick, or they decide that they don't have a way to shut off. And what happens is these red blood cells actually will attack the electrical system on the body, which is your neurological system, your brain, your spinal cord, and the nerves that extend out to everything you have in your body. Everything has a nerve, okay? So inside this lovely plastic sheath is that copper wire. So what happens is your red blood cells, they link onto something and they say, oh, we're just going to attack this because we think that this spot on this nerve has an infection. So we're going to beat it up until there's no more little plastic sheath on it, and all of a sudden that wire becomes exposed. Exposing that wire is what causes a lot of the damage. It can cause pain. It can cause numerous things that happen. It doesn't have to be painful. You can actually lose, you can go numb, you can have absolutely no pain whatsoever. You can just lose an ability to do something. Now, In order for it to be the loss of ability to do something huge, you would have to have a big cluster that gets attacked or something like that. But in short, that's really what the short version of this is. So that little tiny wire on the inside is what needs to be protected. There are numerous medications out there today that actually can help stop the demyelination of those nerves. Now, the medications that are out, they prevent further damage. You have to be diagnosed first because long story short, what the medication does is it takes your immune system down to a very minuscule amount. It actually tricks it into believing that everything's going fine, if that makes sense. So it's not different from a lot of the other medications, and the interferons is what they are called. It's not different from that. What it does is that's really what it does. And really what it does is just tricks the body into thinking, the nerves to thinking that, or the red blood cells into thinking that everything is fine and that you're actually perfectly healthy and there's nothing to fight against. So if you were to get a hangnail or something like that, you could end up with a full-blown MS attack. You could have surgery and have absolutely nothing in the end, and your body completely heals itself perfectly fine. So there could be numerous reasons why, but really this is one of the best ways to explain it. The wire and the mesh on the outside, which is called myelin. So you have your nerve, you have your myelin sheath, and then you have your red blood cells that eat off that myelin sheath. So they expose your nerve, your wire. It's not something to be afraid of. I have overcome so much in my world, and I have overcome being not able to feed myself, not able to bathe myself, not able to speak really well, being able to not even get my fingers together to pick up a piece of paper. So a lot of this is temporary, and a lot of it is mind over matter. Mind over matter. I don't know how else to describe it. Mind over matter. You can beat this. You can tell yourself that this is something that I'm going to fight against, and I'm something that I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win, until finally you cannot just fight anymore. There are times when the body just gets so tired that even mind over matter doesn't work anymore. But you know what? I'm 18 years strong. 18 years. I can still run. Now, I don't like to run, so I don't, but I can if I need to. And I have pushed myself. I have had, yes, some serious setbacks, but I recover from them because I think a lot of it is heart. A lot of it is heart, and a lot of it's mind over matter, and what you're going to do with it. So again, you need to talk to your doctors. Talk to your doctors and tell them how you feel, what you think. Do your own research. Arm yourself with knowledge. That is the best way to actually combat this disease, is that you arm yourself with knowledge. Educate yourself. Go back to your doctors and tell them, yes, I'm having trouble breathing. I don't feel like I can get a really deep breath. I ended up doing this with one of my neurologists. He never even came across his desk to actually touch me, to look at me, look in my eyes, check my check my optic nerve, check my back, do anything. And he told me all of a sudden he said, you have asthma. I didn't stop because I'm like, I do not have asthma. I've never had asthma, and I'm not going to have asthma because it's just not possible. It just isn't. Something else is wrong. I ended up going to my primary care doctor, and I saw the physician's assistant. He volunteers at St. Joe's Hospital, which is linked to Barrows Neurological here in Phoenix. And he has a quick link there. He told me that he wanted me to go to the emergency room immediately. And guess what? My shortness of breath was actually taken seriously by doctors who actually were specializing in MS. I told them that I was previously diagnosed. They re-diagnosed me again with another MRI of brain and spine. That is the key, okay? There's a lot of doctors that will just review the brain. I carry most of my disease in my spine. My spine actually looks like a salt and pepper shaker if you mix them to the two. It's constant, blah, 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 black and white all the way down. I have one lesion here, one near my hippocampus, and a slight one over here. That's what my brain looks like, but you would be amazed at what the rest of my body looks like and how much trouble I've actually had over the long run. So arm yourself with knowledge, okay? go to the National MS Society's webpage. Make sure that you check on there, see if some of the symptoms that might seem the same, okay? But then talk to your doctors about it. But do not discount what they tell you. I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor, but if you know that something else is wrong, then seek a second opinion, okay? If your neurologist doesn't want to listen to you, or your regular doctor doesn't want to listen to you, seek a second opinion. Talk to people around you. See what they have to give you. See what kind of knowledge they can help you with. I wish there was some way that I can say that this disease is going to stop with me and it's going to stop with us and we're never going to have to deal with it anymore. But we are, and we're going to become a huge community, and we're going to keep each other going strong, and we are going to stay healthy, and we are going to do magical things in this world. So you have to believe that with yourself. Give yourself an end date. Like, I want to live till I'm 90 as long as I can still take care of myself. We'll see. Anyway, but I just know that I have so much more that I want to do with this life. I have more that I want to do with my kids. I have an adventure that I want to do with Hunter. Set a long-term goal for yourself. Do not set a short one. Do not tell yourself that this is an end. This is not an end. It's just a little speed bump. It's kind of like having the flu for an extended amount of time. My first attack lasted 9 months. I'm sorry, 3 months. I apologize, 3 months. The primary damage was 3 months, where I could not drive. I couldn't look out of a window. I couldn't anything, because what I call casino carpet, or that really busy patterned carpet, I call casino carpet because casinos have them all the time. And my sight was just so bad that I really could not keep any food down or anything, because I had to look straight ahead. And any time that I varied to the side, I got so dizzy that it made me vomit. So that was my first attack, even though I believe that when I was probably 13, 14, I thought I hurt my back because both of my arms were numb. And I didn't know how to tell my mom what was happening, because I kept telling her something's wrong. She ends up taking me to the doctor. They put me through physical therapy, which didn't help. It didn't help. But it eventually went away, and I figured it actually helped. So the more I think about that now, the more I see that truly it was something that was MS related. So I know now that really that's what it was. So I'm going to go ahead and get this posted again. Matt Player, this is for your family. Don't let them be afraid. Text me, message me, put your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel, because I try to put stuff up MS-wise as quickly as I can. For any of you that are newly diagnosed and you have questions, please subscribe and send me questions if you want me to address the issue on the main channel that everyone would like to hear as well, because I know that there are so many people out there who have questions. I have a supervisor who I worry about, and you know what? She's a runner, and she actually lost both of her legs, and she could not walk at all. And now they have basically, through her insistence, they've really diagnosed her with MS, and they believe that's what she has through her insistence. And she's back to walking. She has a lot of pain, but she's going to be running again soon. And I pray for her every day. One of my friends' friends, and well, she's my friend, messaged me today, and she's like, I just don't know what's happening, and this is what they think it is. And so we had talked about that a lot. Anybody who has questions can help somebody else. So go ahead and put them down below. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll let you guys know how it goes in the future. So anyone who's out there, I'm praying for you. I pray for our kind every night. I know I say our kind, but I pray for us every night, anyone who's been diagnosed. And if any of you know me, you know that I'm 5th generation with MS. So I've been through this for a long amount of time, and I just want you all to know that I'm here if you need me. This is a worldwide disease, And if there is anything that you need from me, even just a buddy to chat with, I'm right here. Go ahead and put your comments down below. If you need to, you can just send me messages. Say, I need an email address. I need whatever, however I can contact you. If you don't want to plastercade it across the internet, just let me know. But anyway, for everybody out there who this is a possibility in their world, don't think of it as a death sentence. And actually, if you want my honest opinion, I see it as the simplest means to an end. It could be so much worse. It could be brain tumors. It could be, it could be a cancerous tumor that's sitting on something. It could be, there's so much worse out there than this disease. There are 2 different kinds, progressive, and then there's relapsive remissive. And they're actually trying to move the primary over into the progressive. The progressive, they're trying to move over into the Lou Gehrig's disease, because it can be fatal, and it is a fast moving. So the relapsing remissive is not normally that way. So do your research, okay? If anybody has questions on where to start, please come to me, ask me. I wish you all the best. Let me know how things go, and I will continue to keep you all in my prayers. Stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.